Welcome, you're listening to John Hyman from Commercial Real Estate Online. This is another video that we put out for commercial real estate agents and brokers around the world, and also for those agents and brokers that are part of our online community. If you haven't heard of us before, you can visit our website, which is commercial-realestate-training.com. Now, this particular video is all about cold calling and the fact that it is a necessity if you want to get anywhere as a broker or an agent in the industry. It doesn't matter what town or city you work in. Cold calling is part of the process, particularly if you want to build some future opportunities when it comes to listings, clients, and market share. So I say it's a necessity. Yes, it is. You can do lots of other things, of course, as part of the prospecting process, but you cannot neglect or overlook the cold calling process. Indeed, if you do, things become difficult and slow. So let's have a look at this a little bit more. Is it a game changer? Well, yes, it is. How do you do it? You make plenty of calls every day, and you should devote about 2 or 3 hours to the process. That requires you to control your diary in a very specific and ongoing way. So what do you say? You say the things that attract conversation and create conversation. You don't pitch or sell your services, you simply ask questions and create conversation. Remember that you are the property expert when it comes to commercial real estate locally. And who do you call? Well, you should call those people that have an interest in property, be they business owners, investors, perhaps solicitors, accountants, those people that have a property need or an interest over time. So indeed, cold calling is a necessity and it is a game changer. Learn how to do it, understand what to say, and of course, know exactly who you're going to call. So let's look at this a bit further. You've actually got to build the process to make it work for you. It's a personal skill. You can't delegate that process. You really do need to learn how to do it yourself. And if you do, then you take control of the market yourself and you can build opportunity over time. Now, if you do decide to use cold calling as part of a prospecting model, there is no doubt that you can build your reputation quite solidly as an expert in the local area. It is you who is actually taking the steps to talk to new people every day. That's a very special thing. Most salespeople avoid the process because they just cannot refine it and improve it over time. If you make the calls, you build your reputation. It's a very personal thing and it's very important. So let's look a little bit further. From building your reputation, you are going to build your business. Now, your database is going to help you greatly when it comes to cold calling. So there are a number of databases around which support you very well. You don't have to spend a lot of money. The databases are very efficient and cloud-based these days, so you don't need to spend a lot of money. But you do need to manage that database yourself. And of course, as part of building your business, you will build your market share. By building your market share, I mean you're going to get plenty of signs into the local area. Your advertising rates are going to lift, and you will be getting more inspections over time. So that's how the building it process works. You build your reputation, you build your business, and you build your market share. So exactly who are the key people that you should talk to? Well, I've put some of the main ones here for you to consider. Let's look at the first one. Business owners. Now, business owners are the backbone of commercial property activity and occupation. Business owners need tenancies to lease and properties to occupy. So you are the person to talk to many business owners to find out exactly what they're doing when it comes to occupancy and future ongoing business expansion, change or contraction. Further to that, of course, there are property owners and property investors. Now, the property investors are there to do one main thing, and that is to grow their investments over time, and commercial real estate will give them that vehicle to do that. Of course, you can understand the rents and prices and the marketing strategies to help those property investors, so they are a very special part of the market to work with. It's interesting that property developers do come and go from the market, from your town or city, based on the activities of business, the demands of future supply, and also properties to occupy and perhaps purchase over time. So property developers come and go. You do need to understand them. They are motivated differently than perhaps the normal property owners. Property developers need to see an end result and, of course, a reasonable capital gain and return on their investment. They won't hold that property for very long, but they do need some good agents to help them through the process of finding tenants or finding buyers, as the case may be. Now, another segment to check out, and this is quite productive, They are the solicitors or the legal people that are in your town or city and may have clients that are actively involved with commercial property. Find out who these solicitors are and network with them. It should also be said that accountants are very useful people to know, because they have clients that also are active in commercial property. Some of those clients will want to change investment, expand or contract over time. So again, get to know those accountants. Send them a letter so that you can create a meeting where you can meet those people. And of course, owner-occupiers, these are the people that run businesses that need property to base their business from and also build their business momentum, be it in manufacturing or perhaps some other type of business. So owner-occupiers are the segment that needs to be understood in your patch, in your city or your town. And lastly, franchise groups. Now, franchises are a common fact of business today, and franchise groups will need space to grow their franchise brand. And of course, if they're in another town or city, they may be looking to move to your location very soon. So have an open mind when you're dealing with franchise groups. Get to understand who needs to move into your area or perhaps expand in your area from a franchise perspective. So they are the key people as such that you can work with. So how do you connect with them? Well, there are different ways to do this, and this summary that I'm about to give you is one way to attack the process. So number one, segment your town or city into areas so that you know exactly how many properties there are in that particular patch. You need about 2,000 to 3,000 properties in a zone or a precinct to work with and through over time. Mind you, it will take you a long time to work through all the property ownership records, the businesses, the property investors, and the professional people inside that area. However, when you segment the area, you can logically work through the streets and get to know what's going on. Now, segment your people. That is, the people into the groups that I've mentioned. They are business owners, property investors, solicitors, accountants, and property developers. And also segment your properties. Divide your properties up into property types, be they office property, high-rise, perhaps single-level office, industrial property, industrial parks, retail property, standalone retail, and even shopping centres. Segment your properties into groups. Of course, focus on the groups that you understand and can relate to. There's no point in prospecting people when you don't understand the property product. Identify targets. Now, in each town or city, there will be certain buildings and certain locations or precincts which are very desirable from an occupancy perspective. A lot of tenants and businesses will want to be in those zones. So they can be the targeted zones for your prospecting focus. And of course, the buildings, the highly desirable buildings for occupancy, will also be on that list. Now, set yourself some KPIs, key performance indicators. As part of your prospecting model, and of course you're going to devote maybe 2 or 3 hours to the process of prospecting every day, understand the number of calls that are coming into you, the number of calls that you're making every day, and I would expect you to make 20 to 30, maybe even 40 calls a day. That will require a degree of research and organisation on your part. From those calls, you'll create deals, and that's a great thing. So those 3 things are linked. Calls in, calls out, deals done. Listings will be created from the meetings that you generate from your calls. So if you like, your calls out will generate meetings, and those meetings will create listings. Over time, you'd want to target something like 30 to 40 calls a day, creating 2 new meetings per day. And from 2 new meetings per day, you should be able to create 1 or 2 new listings per week. That's how the numbers work. Of course, over time, and as the quality of your database grows, you'll find those averages improve. And that's a good thing. That's why you need to set your KPIs and monitor your ratios and results. So let's go a bit further. Taking action. It's all very good to say that cold calls need to be made, but behind all this, someone has to take the action. You can't delegate it. If you really want to get anywhere in the industry, you've got to do this yourself. So you do need a plan of action. You need to have the mental stamina, the drive, the motivation to make those calls. It's hard. It's not easy. You do need to practice what you say. However, taking action will allow you to move ahead. Notice I said earlier that you do need to take action every day, and of course 2 or 3 hours a day devoted to the prospecting process. That means you're going to be busy at the other times of day as well. Yes, you are. That's the nature of the industry. However, in commercial real estate, you can make far more commission and income than in many other segments of any selling or sales professional industry in the world. Commercial real estate is very rewarding as long as you get your actions and your focus together. So let's cover one final point: practice and improve. Now, initially I started off by talking about making cold calls. Well, yes, cold calls are a personal thing. Yes, there is a process to it, and I've just discussed that with you. In saying that, when you practice, you improve. It's a bit like playing golf. When you practice, you improve. The same applies to cold calling, the investors, the property owners, the business owners in your local area. When you practice, you improve. Therefore, if you are embarking on a cold calling process, understand that you will need to practice every day, and make it a practice process that you do at home, so you don't need to worry about other people judging you or listening to you as part of that practicing activity. You can practice for the first 15 minutes before you do anything else at the start of the day. As soon as you arise, go and make yourself a coffee, and then settle down for a little bit of practice on calling dialogue. Quite soon you'll have your words sorted out, your script sorted out, and you'll be able to make some very effective direct conversational calls. That's how you win more leads and opportunity through cold calling. So that's the end of the subject. I've covered quite a lot of things there for you, and we'll go right back to the beginning. Cold calling is a necessity. I've covered the issues there for you to think about. As I said to you before, you can get plenty of leads and opportunities at our website, which is commercial-realestate-training.com. And I make many of these videos for our online community, so if you're not part of that online community, you might as well join up whilst you're there. And if you don't know what the website looks like, here it is here. And even today I had loaded another video relating to direct marketing strategies for commercial real estate brokers. So every day we're loading new things to the website, and of course you can get a free book or perhaps even some free audios as well. So that's the website. It is commercial-realestate-training.com. Now, my name is John Hyman. I do thank you for listening to me, and this is a training video where I can help you learn more about selling, leasing, renting, office, industrial and retail property. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you again very soon. My name's John Hyman. I'm signing off right now.